Kyrie Irving, for really the past few years of his career, has been one of the most complexing players in the entire NBA. He's also known as Kanye Irving, or you can even call him Kyrie West. Either one works. And the reason people call him that, mainly just me, is because you never know what you're going to get from him. On this one hand, you get this super talented top 2 point guard player who makes any team better. He's just so talented. He can score the ball with the best of them. He has a great handle. He's very clutch. He can pass the ball, and he's just an elite level player. But then on this other side that you also get in Kyrie Irving, you get a guy who, if he sees a butterfly, he's going to chase it, and you might not see him for 3 weeks, and he won't be playing basketball for your team for months on end, not due to any injuries, but just due to his own wacky reasoning at times. So it's really a yin and yang when it comes to Kyrie. You're going to get a super talented player, but if that talent ever really gets to be able to use at his full capacity is a very big question. And really all of his decision making throughout his career very much supports this as well, as it really doesn't matter what situation he is in, it just seems to never be fully satisfied with what he is, and he is just so untrustworthy and such a fly risk at any point in time. No matter what he says, it is kind of becoming a problem. As if you look at his track record in his history of his career, he started it with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and at first they sucked and he wasn't really a big name, so not a lot of drama surrounded him. But then he got LeBron and they made to 3 straight NBA Finals, even winning one of them against the Golden State Warriors. But after that 3rd straight NBA Finals, he demanded a trade away from the Cleveland Cavaliers, kind of highlighting a reason that he wanted to get out of LeBron's shadow. And shortly after he demanded that trade away from Cleveland, he would be granted his wish as he was shipped to the Boston Celtics. And with the Boston Celtics, he played about 2 seasons with them, and his first season really wasn't his fault at all. He just got an unfortunate injury. He missed the last 20 games of the regular season, and as well the entire playoffs, which did result in actually the Boston Celtics making a very good run with Jason Tatum leading them, but they did come up short in the conference finals, and they were not able to make it past LeBron once again in the Eastern Conference. And then the very next year, with a fully healthy Kyrie Irving going into the playoffs, the hopes were extremely high that they would have a very good bounce back year after making the Eastern Conference Finals without him, but instead they got bounced in 5 games in just the second round to the Milwaukee Bucks. So he had 2 kind of lackluster years, especially when it comes to late season and playoff success, somewhat due to injury and then somewhat just due to him not performing at the level he should have in 2019. But before that 2019 season started, he said in the preseason that if the Boston Celtics would have him, he planned on re-signing with them long term. But obviously that is not what happened, because right after that 2019 Boston Celtics playoff series, he would then go on to leave the Boston Celtics for the Brooklyn Nets on a 4-year, $114 million deal. Now, if he would have just left Boston, that wouldn't have been that big of a deal and there wouldn't have been that much drama around it. But the fact that Kyrie literally said, word for word, that he was going to stay if Boston wanted him, and Boston did want him, which is a big reason probably why they didn't look to trade Kyrie, because they didn't think there was a risk of him leaving, but he then left despite saying that he wanted to stay with them at the beginning of the year. And this would be the first circumstance of Kyrie Irving saying something and then doing the complete opposite just a few months later. But despite Kyrie Irving kind of going completely back on his word, a lot of people overlooked it, because the team he joined in Brooklyn, everyone knows that team was stacked. They had Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving himself. That was one of the best big threes in the entire NBA. It was extremely hyped up, and they never really lived up to their full potential at all, as James Harden would demand a trade, I think just next year. He kind of fell off a little bit with them. He just didn't fit well. Kyrie had so much drama around him. In 2021, the dude only played, 21 games, I'm pretty sure, due to the whole vaccine issue, because he refused to get it, and he wasn't able to play till the very end of the year. And then in the playoffs, he wasn't in full form, which resulted in them losing, and I'm pretty sure the first round. And then also in 2022 playoffs, they got absolutely embarrassed by the Boston Celtics. And then in his first chance to have a playoff appearance with them, he wasn't even able to play due to an injury, I'm pretty sure. So he really never had any type of playoff success with this extremely stacked team. And now, once again, we're back to present time, where just a few weeks ago, Kyrie Irving said word for word that he planned on re-signing with the Brooklyn Nets long term, and that he is not going to leave his man number 7 anywhere. Well, turns out he is going to be leaving Kevin Durant somewhere, as he just demanded and got traded to the Dallas Mavericks. And Although it's like almost a forbidden fruit is what Kyrie Irving is. Like every time he demands a trade, there's so many teams and so many suitors for him that everybody wants him because he's so talented. But every single time you partake in the trading of Kyrie Irving or getting him on your team, it almost always blows up in your face for the past years of his career. And really, due to his past track record, there's no way you can trust him if he does say he wants to stay with Dallas or if he's excited to play with Dallas. Now, I'm sure he is excited to play with Luka, but who's to say in the next few months he randomly changes his mind like he has done many times in the past and doesn't want to re-sign with them and he becomes a one-year rental for the Mavericks. And that would be another scenario where they just traded a lot to probably get to the Western Conference Finals, maybe the NBA Finals, but I don't think they're talented enough to win the finals, and I don't think they're probably good enough to get it out of the West because I think the Nuggets are still a little bit better than them. So I do think that they will probably not make the finals, and if they don't make the finals, will Kyrie Irving decide to up and leave? And that would be another team he completely destroyed by just getting traded to them. And Kyrie Irving just brings this such a stigma around him at this point that it is so scary when you trade for him, because you have to trade for him because that's how talented he is. And if you can add someone to that team that's that talented as Kyrie, you have to do that. But he's just so unpredictable that it is such a ginormous risk when you are doing it. But unfortunately, guys, that's more for this video. So comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you think Kyrie Irving has a big stigma around him? Do you think it's smart to trade for him? I want to hear our thoughts in the comment section below. And if you thought you have a point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. And I hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah.